Good morning, welcome to the Morning Review. This is Kim Watson speaking for Easy Trader. Looking at the Eurodollar first, and we've got this consolidated phase, if you like, continue on the dailies. It's stayed very range bound most of this month so far. At the moment on the 4 hourlies, if anything, we're looking erring towards the bullish side of anything, with the flag that we've got sitting here. Which would generally suggest for possibly some further upside. I do, however, have a downside target sitting there at 113.66 sort of area. So there's a possibility we could actually come down to 65. We could actually come down to that point soonish. Looking at a 60-minute chart, and well, again, it's not really. This intermediate period would suggest more chop, which time I'm sort of more interested in looking at sort of breaks of trends. It's not particularly overly clear at the moment, but well, there is a trend line that's pretty solid across the lows there, so a break of that trend line could see us running back down. As I say, we've got the target at 113.65.5, so there's a possibility we could come down to that. Also, I suppose I'm just looking at 50 moving average is being hammered all over immediately, but it could pull back towards that en route. So at the moment, between a rock and a hard place, to be quite honest, it's I'm just looking at the alternative to the upside. Probably if we see a break of that high we saw this morning, actually, if we see a break of that, maybe we need to look towards the highs before do anything, but maybe looking at shorts above that sort of level, longs above that level. Alternatively, looking for the shorts as it breaks down here. Okay, pound dollar. I should mention we've got the Eurogroup meetings all day today, and so we could see some quite high volatility in the euro dollar. Also in the afternoon we got well, I say the afternoon, but the US are on a President's Day today, so it's bank holiday, so we could see volumes light this afternoon. So looking at the pound dollar, again on Friday we managed this very small bar sitting there on Friday, where the price just chopped here. Got a downside target at the moment of 153.39 is a possibility. I'm just looking to see if we had any divergence. We've sort of had a bit of divergence, well, not really actually, the divergence already worked itself off. So but again, looking from a 60-minute point of view, I've drawn this trend line on here, really a break below that, and more keen towards the sell side. It's done a little bit of divergence on the hourlies here, so if it does start breaking down, we may see an earlier morning break. We've got the possible pivot target at 153.97. It looks like it's just only air kissed there, so if it does start breaking down, that will certainly be a target. At the moment it's pretty close to the prior highs here, and if it does take off and start moving to the upside, I'd look for long. So it really needs to break the intermediate high there. Yeah, at the moment it's really if it breaks the highs there, I'll be more keen to be looking on the long side. But if it starts breaking down, well, we've got a decent target here, let's say 153.97, and possibly even lower at 153.39. So a couple of early week targets there. Then looking at dollar yen. Right, saw some strength come back into the move. It really, I mean, we were just short of those prior highs there on midweek last week, and since then on Wednesday it never quite made there. The selling pressures come in. I mean, when you look at the come back to this chart here, it was very close to those sort of highs, and we're sort of in the upper end of the range almost. It could quite easily move back down towards the 116.07 area where we saw the lower part of that range. I wouldn't be surprised to see the yen sort of travelling within that range for some time. So it may be only natural for it to pull back a little bit more. Short term, we sort of where it's very messy on this 4-hourly. I do actually have an upside target there, 119.18, which is a possibility if we started moving up today. We've sort of air kissed some of the targets I'd have been looking for really in the short term. Well, we've broken that trend line that was sitting there, which could suggest a continuation to the upside there. But maybe, well, that would be a possible target. Looking at the 50 as well, the 50-day, hourly 50 moving average, and as I say, that possible 119.19 sort of area. To the downside, if we see break of this trend, take these lows out, we would be looking really just to be getting on the short side. But for now, bit of a mixed picture, I guess. But erring towards a continuation for this upside maybe. Finally, Aussie dollar. Again, these markets are at sort of that point where if they can get a shove up, well, they may sort of break my decision or my points of. I mean, the Aussie here is pushing up and breaking this sort of trend line that's running across the lows here, highs rather. Now, I do have, however, a downside target of 0.7750, so 7750 would be a downside target, possibly be hit. It's also got 7760, so there's a couple of short-term targets. I was looking from this hourly perspective, just drawing the trend line on here. And whilst we've got the daily trend line, we've got this shorter term trend line. I mean, we've gone in through the Asian session, double tops, and it's not really managed to get any higher. So a breakdown of this sort of trend line that we're sitting on at the moment would certainly be looking for the short side of those targets of 7760, 7750. Okay, as I say, news-wise today, really we were only looking at the Eurogroup meetings, which would obviously affect the euro pairs. Mostly, if we get any sort of results from there, anything particularly good that come out of that could see the euro flying. So we've got to just bear that in mind. We sort of get quite bearish towards it in naturally because of the sort of downside movement that we've seen. However, it's held up so well that any good news may see it run quite a few pips to the upside. That's it for me. Have a great day. Bye.